Welcome back to Auto Car, where today we're diving into something special, something unexpected, really. You read the title right. We're talking about the new 1978 Chevy Chevelle Pickup Truck. Yeah, we know, a Chevelle pickup. That's not something you hear every day. It sounds like a fever dream for classic car lovers and muscle truck fanatics, but it's very real, and honestly, kind of awesome. Let's start with a little backstory, because to understand how cool this thing is, we need to understand where it came from. The Chevy Chevelle was originally introduced in the 1960s as part of GM's A-body platform. It quickly became one of the most iconic muscle cars of the late 60s and early 70s, especially with the legendary SS 454 models. But by the late 70s, the Chevelle name started to fade, eventually getting absorbed into the Malibu line. That was the end, or so we thought. Fast forward to today, and this new project, a 1978 Chevy Chevelle pickup truck, has re-emerged like a phoenix from the ashes. This isn't a GM production model. It's a resto-mod, a custom build that takes vintage style and modern tech, mashing them together into something both nostalgic and fresh. Someone, somewhere, asked, what if the Chevelle had never died, and instead, what if it evolved into a muscle truck? And they didn't just ask, they built it. The base of this beast starts with a 1978 Chevelle body, which in itself is pretty rare these days. The design holds onto that long, wide, and aggressive front end that made the Chevelle stand out on the streets. But where the rear would normally slope down into a coupe or sedan form, it's been completely reworked into a full pickup bed. We're not talking El Camino here, either. This is not just a car with a bed. This is a proper pickup truck built from a Chevelle's bones. From the front, it keeps that mean mug, a squared-off grille, quad headlights, and just enough chrome to let you know it's from a different time. But the lines flow naturally into the truck bed, as if Chevy had planned it this way all along. The rear fenders are flared just enough to fit the oversized wheels, and the bed itself is functional, with polished wood slats and stainless steel trim. It's a working truck, but it looks like a showpiece. Under the hood, oh yeah, it brings the heat. This particular Chevelle pickup is rocking a modern LS3 engine. That's a 6.2-liter V8 pumping out around 430 horsepower, though depending on how it's tuned, that number can go even higher. This isn't just a cruiser, it's a proper street performer. Mated to a 6-speed manual transmission, it gives you total control, pure driver engagement, just like the old days, but with the reliability and smoothness of modern engineering. And the suspension isn't stock either. To handle that power and weight distribution, the truck's been fitted with COI lovers and upgraded sway bars. It hugs the corners way better than you'd expect for a 70s frame. The brakes are upgraded too, Brembo discs all around to make sure it stops as confidently as it goes. Inside, it's a mix of retro charm and modern comfort. The dashboard retains that classic Chevelle shape but now features a digital gauge cluster and a touchscreen infotainment system tastefully integrated into the center console. The seats are custom-stitched leather with bolstering for spirited driving, and even though it's a truck now, there's still a sense of muscle car cockpit when you sit behind the wheel. So let's talk about what makes this build so fascinating beyond just specs and style. The idea of blending a Chevelle with a pickup design feels so counterintuitive at first, like these two worlds aren't supposed to meet. Muscle cars are all about speed and power. Trucks are about utility and toughness. But when you combine them right, like this build does, you end up with something that feels like a true American hybrid. Not hybrid as in gas-electric, but hybrid as in cultural, the muscle car attitude with pickup truck practicality. Imagine rolling into a car show with this thing. It's got the muscle to turn heads, the uniqueness to start conversations, and the usability to actually haul parts or gear if you needed to. It's not just a showpiece. It's a driver. It's a statement. Now, some purists might argue that turning a Chevelle into a pickup is sacrilege. And hey, maybe if this were a numbers-matching SS 454, we'd feel the same. But it's not. It's a base model, 78 that probably would have rusted away in a field. Instead, it's been resurrected and reimagined. That's the heart of the custom car scene, taking what was and turning it into what could be. This project reminds us of the wild spirit of the 1970s, when American car culture wasn't afraid to get weird. When you had cars like the El Camino, the Ranchero, and all kinds of mashups that blurred the lines between cars and trucks. It's almost like this Chevelle pickup is a lost design that finally found its way home, decades later. So what's the verdict? If you ask us at Autocar, this thing is an absolute win. It's bold, it's loud, it's unapologetic, and it makes you smile just looking at it. It's the kind of vehicle that reminds us why we love cars in the first place, because they're not just machines. They're expressions of personality, of history, of rebellion even. Would we daily drive it? Honestly, yeah, we would. It's got the power, the comfort, and enough character to make even your Monday morning commute feel like a parade. It won't be for everyone, but that's kind of the point. Builds like this aren't meant to follow trends, they're meant to set them. Alright, if you enjoyed this breakdown of the 1978 Chevy Chevelle pickup truck, go ahead and hit that like button. Drop a comment below and let us know, would you drive this thing? Or do you think Chevy should have left the Chevelle alone? And if you want more unique builds, muscle car revivals, and everything in between, make sure to subscribe to Autocar and hit that bell so you never miss a ride. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Drive safe, and stay wild.